First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, great to have everybody join us here. We are live streaming on our apps, on the website, on social media channels, so lots of places that you can engage and interact with this show and, of course, share it and come back to it later on. Today, right now, at 1 p.m. here, October 6th, we're going to talk about what's happening tomorrow, which is October 7th, when deer hunting season opens up here in Oregon. And there's a couple of big things that we really want to talk about here today. It's not only if you're a hunter and going out, what you should know, but also if you're not a hunter and going out into the wilderness, because if you're watching this live, you know it's really nice weather outside right now, and I think a lot of people are going to be getting out into the wilderness, so it's important that we're all kind of on the same page and knowing that stuff. And to do so, we have Michelle Dennehy from the ODFW, who is here to talk all about it and walk us through that. And Michelle, I really appreciate you joining us. I'm sure this is a busy day for you with everything going on and all these things happening here for the fall, but thanks for spending some time with us. And to start off, can you just maybe give everybody just the update on what exactly is happening tomorrow?
Sure. Tomorrow is the opening of what we call any legal weapon deer season, and that broadly means rifle hunters. It is our biggest hunting season. We have more people going out for this season than any other, and it happens both in Eastern and Western Oregon. So it's a big day for hunters in Oregon.
Yeah, so both sides of the Cascades, so all of Oregon, this is opening up. I know you mentioned that this is the biggest one. What do you mean by that? Are there more hunters?
So we have more participation in deer hunting season, especially because almost all seasons, rifle seasons, are in this period. Then, elk hunting is also very popular for big game hunters, but those seasons tend to be more dispersed. Like they start this date in Eastern Oregon, this date on the coast. So, but for just one season that everyone can be involved in, this is it. This is the biggest one, and it goes for about a month in Western Oregon, and then a little under 2 weeks in Eastern Oregon. So shorter season in Eastern Oregon.
Okay, but overlapping there for those first 2 weeks there at least. So
yes.
all with everybody going out there. So to give kind of context for, this is what I was talking about at the beginning, context for both hunters and non-hunters. I guess for the hunting side of things, what do they need to know for this year? What's something important? Are there regulations that have changed or anything for hunters that are going out there that they should be aware of?
Well, this is the day where we're always reminding people, and we usually have a big line out the door on this day, but we now have it so you can easily buy your tag online and print it from home, or you can e-tag. I'll talk about that more later. But basically, the biggest thing is make sure you get your tag, because what Oregon State Police sees every year is hunters who think because they drew a tag that it's all automatically they have it. That's not the case. So don't forget to pick up your tag. If you're e-tagging, make sure your tag is in your portfolio and make sure you've logged into the My ODFW app, which you need to e-tag in the field. For people who aren't hunting, the best thing you can do is wear hunter orange or wear bright colors when you're in the woods with other hunters. That's what we advise all hunters to do, and it's also great advice for people who aren't hunting. Thankfully, any kind of incidents with non-hunters are very rare, but of course, any kind of incident is terrible. So, and we want to see everybody safe out there. So yeah, while you're in the woods during hunting season, it's a great idea to wear hunter orange, as we advise hunters to do, and as youth under age 18 are required to do when hunting in Oregon.
And do you think that's, so wearing orange going out there like that, is that something that you should do even if you're just going on a hike, or is it something if you're going further into deeper wilderness?
If you're in an area where you know that there's hunters, it's a good idea. Like, you don't want to be hidden, you want them to see you. Now, one thing I also thought we could talk about, which is important for hunters to know, is firearm safety. There's 4 basic rules of firearm safety, and one of them is be sure of your target and what is in front of it and beyond it. So no, hunters should not be taking a shot if they don't know what's in front and behind, what's behind their target. But just for safety's sake, it's a great idea at this time of year to make sure that you can be seen.
That's okay. Good idea there. And obviously, just reminders of safety for everybody, whether that's somebody out there on a hike or somebody who is hunting, even though they probably know the rules and understand that. But a good reminder, I'm sure, can never hurt. You said there's 4 different things. Were there 2 other things?
Yeah. So the other things are, you want to control the direction of your muzzle at all times. You want to keep your finger outside of the trigger guard until you're ready to shoot. And then you treat every firearm like it's loaded. Those are the 4 basic rules of firearm safety. Every kid in Oregon, if they're going to hunt, is required to take hunter education. And those are the most important rules that we stress. And by now, actually last year was the 60th anniversary of hunter education in Oregon. And we used to see so many more hunting incidents and fatalities than we do today. And that's really thanks to hunter ed, because most people hunting today, a lot of them started when they were kids. So they went through hunter ed as a youth.
That's great that has changed so much that that's
Yeah.
just a real rarity anymore. And you mentioned that there are so many so many hunters happening right now, so many people out there hunting, and a lot of that is because you can do things online. So how have you seen that change the landscape of hunting over the last, say, few years?
So a few years ago, we launched our new online licensing system that allowed people. It used to be that you could buy online, but you'd have to wait for your tag to be mailed to you, or you'd have to go to an outdoor store or any store that sells licenses. So you would see these huge lines. On a day like today, there'd be huge lines, but now you can just go online from the comfort of your own home and do it, and you don't even have to print it. So you can e-tag. And what you do to do that is you download our My ODFW app. And of course, most hunters, they're not going to be in cell service. That's the whole point of hunting, is getting out into remote areas. But our app works so you can tag when you're offline. So that's a key point. But it is real. Oregon State Police, who does enforcement of wildlife laws, including hunting regulations, and ODFW see some issues out there. So we just put out some reminders on social media on common issues we see. So if you are e-tagging, it's a good idea to go take a peek at those. One of the biggest is just make sure you have the app, make sure you have your tags in there, and make sure you immediately tag. You're still required to immediately tag your animal if you get one.
I've got this is from a video that you just put out yesterday, I think, just kind of showing how this works and giving an idea of the app. So to reiterate that, if you're out there and you need to tag immediately through the app.
Correct.
Okay. And for the regulation side of things, this is and as you mentioned, this can work offline, so as long as everybody has it downloaded and set up for that. How many, I guess, people do you have out regulating this on a regular basis?
I'm sorry, I don't have a good number for that, but we do. Oregon State Police actually has its own Fish and Wildlife Division, and their job, although they do everything that OSP does, but they enforce hunting and fishing laws. So they're going to be out in force over hunting season. They do things like decoy operations. You can't shoot from a road, that kind of thing. So be on your best behavior because they're out there.
Yeah, which is good, which is great. Something else I wanted to go back to, as far as with it being really nice weather, a lot of people going out in the woods for maybe people who aren't necessarily normally going out there, but since it's nice weather, they're going to be going out for some hikes. What are some signs they can look for to be aware of that they are near hunters or in an area where hunting is taking place?
Well, I think you might just see more traffic. If you see people with rifles, that's a good indicator too, but I think in general, just more traffic is, more people parked at the trail, more people parked somewhere. That's probably a good indicator. Now, this season goes for some time. And the other thing to know is that hot weather like this is not the best conditions for hunting, because you're noisier, right, when you're walking through the woods. So maybe we'll see less participation this weekend and more next week as we get rain. But, hunters could be out there starting tomorrow. So just, again, it's great to be aware of that.
Nice. And anything else that you think, for hunters that they should know about this year?
Yeah, there is one other thing. So a lot of hunters has probably heard of this disease. It's called chronic wasting disease. Thankfully, it's never been detected in Oregon, but it was found just 30 miles from our border in northern Idaho a couple years ago. So again, we're doing sampling stations. So over opening weekend, we have CWD check stations in Prineville, Celilo Park, Baker City, and also in Elgin. So if you drive by one and you've gotten a deer elk, you need to stop. It's mandatory to stop. But if not everyone gets one over opening weekend. So there's plenty of other ways to get your animal tested. You can call an ODFW office to get it tested. We also have drop-off barrels at many offices. And then we also work with a number of taxidermists and meat processors. And the key reason we need this is because CWD an animal can have it for several years before they show symptoms. And while they have it, they can be spreading it. So what we're really trying to do with our CWD surveillance is catch it early, because we have a better chance of containing it if we catch it early. Again, it's never been found, but we really, really need hunters' help here. So please get your animals sampled if you're successful.
Wow. Yeah, and 30 miles from the border is not far. So
That's not far, no.
yeah, at all. Okay, well, yeah, very good thing for everybody to know then, for all the hunters out there to stop and have that tested. Anything else that you think is important?
No, I think I covered everything. Just, have a great season and have a safe season. And yeah, just again, today's the deadline to pick up your tag. So just don't forget to get your tag. You can also it's also the deadline to pick up a cougar or bear tag if you want to do that. So it's a big day, but again, it's all online, so easy to do from the comfort of your own home.
Fantastic. Oh, that was the one other thing I was going to mention too. For the e-tagging, you can also do that for fishing as well, right?
Yeah, and we see OSP and ODFW see the same issues with fishing, with people not immediately tagging. Another thing with fishing is it's important to get the location correct. So you want to make sure you're tagging your fish in the right place. Like if you get a salmon in the ocean, you need to tag it in the ocean, not in the river system. So we've got some more information about that online. So we advise everyone just check it out, make sure you're doing things correctly. Because otherwise, e-tagging is just super convenient. I mean, you don't have to carry a paper tag anymore. It's really convenient.
Yeah, that's got to be a lot nicer for you all too, not having a giant line of people waiting to get their ticket printed off.
Yeah. I was just downstairs at the office, and I'm like, wow, it's quiet for the day before deer season. And why is that? Because everyone just buys online now.
Nice. Well, Michelle, thank you very much for taking some time to talk to us. Really, really appreciate it. This is really good information for everybody. And yeah, have a good day.
Okay, you too. Bye.
And for everybody joining us too, again, this is Fox 12 Now, so thank you for being here, being a part of the show. And you can go back and watch that segment or share that segment from our YouTube channel. We also have our app where you can just download that. There's a Fox 12 Now button right there, and any of our other previous segments. We've done quite a few with the ODFW, just giving information out like that. So lots of stuff you can learn right there. And we are here throughout the afternoon, so if there's breaking news, this is also where you want to come back anytime that's outside of our normal newscasts. So 1 to 4 p.m., Fox 12 Now is where to go. So right here where you're at. We do have coming up the Fox 12 Weather Podcast video edition. So we've got that whole crew. They're going to be talking about the weather, and obviously it's very nice out, so I'm sure that's going to be a topic of conversation. So you don't want to miss that. That's coming up at 2 p.m. And thanks for tuning in. I'm going to log off right now. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.